Hey guys, welcome back to Star Fox Assault.
Howdy.
Hey, yo.
Fachita.
Robot. That's cool.
Oh yeah, this is Rob.
And his name is Rob. Haha.
Yeah.
Is that like space age Nintendo Rob?
You know, to me, it's a mix of, classic Rob and, like, Rob the Space Knight.
Who's Rob the Space Knight?
He's an old comic that Marvel used to own, but then they lost the rights to. And then recently, some other company got the rights to it, so they're actually rebooting it.
What? Okay, I'm gonna look this guy up.
Well, that's what Marvel's been doing for the last while, like regaining their rights, right?
Well, their movie rights.
Not really.
The movie rights, yeah.
Even their movie rights, they still don't really have. Like, Fox still owns a lot of their stuff, and Sony still basically owns Spider-Man, but there's like now a thing that's like, but you can use him also.
But the thing is, though, like, this was like a comic that Marvel licensed to do, and then they lost the rights or something like that. And like, my dad had like a whole bunch of Rob the Space Knight comics in addition to like other Marvel comics, and like that's how I know it from. Man,
Rob the Space Knight looks like a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, and it's funny because like there's a whole bunch of characters that Marvel owned from that franchise that because they made characters for it, and like during a comic event like a few years ago, they basically just like eradicated them in the span of like 5 pages.
I would totally watch a movie based on Rob the Space Knight.
He looks like a pretty cool guy.
This looks pretty badass.
I want to hang out with this dude. He's kind of like a transformer, except that he can't transform.
Oh
Wait
yeah,
a
this
second.
level.
Oh
Right,
yeah,
so now we're on Hoth.
Yeah, yeah, this is yeah, it's a snow level. There's no ice physics really that apply. It's just it's
Low visibility.
It's low visibility. That's the gimmick of this level.
No, I swear, like before those, Fox was like, chill it out, and he didn't seem pretty cold, even though he like had no sort of winter gear on.
Maybe he has Maybe he has a thermal vest on.
Yeah, that vest looks pretty
vest.
heavy duty.
That vest, yeah.
Yeah. So the mission here is to destroy the 3 power generators. That's the first part.
I was just going to ask.
So I don't understand why we can't use R-Wings for this.
You know what? No, this time it actually makes sense because like there's so much snow and visibility. You ever tried to play like if you're flying a plane? They're not going to land that plane.
Yeah, but look at them. These things glow. They have that thing up in the sky. Is that a beam that goes up in the sky, or just like a really
that's the base.
Huh?
That's the glowing thing in the background. That's the base.
No, I mean on top of the tower.
I don't believe so. I think they're just covered in ice on the top. So the R-Wings arguably wouldn't even be able to like get in underneath to shoot it because it's a weird angle.
It's been a while, but like because I was just looking when you were attacking, it looks like it was shooting a beam up. So I'm just like, what?
No, I don't believe so. Yeah. Yeah, we're back in the Landmaster. It's really awkward to control, but yeah.
Well, I mean, like, it could be worse, I guess.
How are you finding the shield generators?
From my test Let's Play. Because in my first run, it took a while, but because there's no real indicator. Like, you just sort of have to, like, keep an eye out for those towers.
Yeah, they're not appearing on your map.
No.
I mean, I saw that Peppy there was sort of like, oh, you should see it any minute now. So is it almost like a hot-cold kind of system? Yeah. Like, it's kind of like when you get closer to it, people start saying like, oh, it's pretty close.
Yeah, you lost your Landmaster, and it's like, thanks, Peppy, for like putting it all the way over there.
Yeah, that's one. At least they established that in the second level that Peppy is not great at aiming the Landmaster beam thing.
So you can actually
just like
get
get Slippy to do it.
Oh, sorry. Well, actually, I heard one question. I think from Dan. You can get shot out of the Landmaster. Yeah. The Landmaster can get broken.
Okay, I did not know that. I thought it was like, oh, this is the Landmaster mission. You are now in the Landmaster.
No,
and that's that.
No, you can technically beat this level on foot. God help you if you do.
That's like expert mode.
Actually,
that's the awesome games done quick speed run version.
Actually, I haven't played hard mode of Star Fox Assault, but I swear, if that's what they do to make this level difficult,
they probably don't. They probably just make every enemy harder to kill.
Yeah, I think they might also put more targets. I feel like that's a thing that they do in hard mode. Yeah, because normal mode they definitely put in more targets than they do in the in easy, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And I regret not playing this game on easy because there's not much other differences.
Are you guys watching? Sorry, what were we gonna say, Jordan?
No, he stopped. So I was like wondering something happening.
Yeah, it takes like a second or two for this game to register a cutscene.
Yeah. Are you guys watching any of Awesome Games Done Quick? It just started yesterday.
I heard of it, but I haven't been.
Oh man, have you watched Games Done Quick ever?
I've seen like them like after, but like not live.
Oh man, it's so good.
They're impressive, yeah.
They're so good. They're so fun to watch. Like even games that I don't know and haven't played, it's just cool seeing people be good at them in that way. They did a full speed run of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance last night, and I missed it, but I really wanted to watch that one.
Do they like break games, like use glitches to
Oh
get
yeah.
Oh, okay,
Like,
yeah.
they're traveling through walls. They're like doing really crazy things. Sometimes they're not. Like sometimes they will say, "Oh, I'm doing a run where I'm not going to do any of those like cheats kind of stuff." They'll let you know, because there's all these different kinds of runs you can do. But yeah, typically if they're just going for a straight up speed run, they will use whatever means they have.
I remember watching a Metroid Prime play speed run a few years back, and I remember like 30 seconds of it was the player just like standing in this really awkward corner of the game, and eventually they just broke through the wall, and got to like close to the last level because of it, and the whole thing was like, I don't know, an hour maybe. But
it's really cool. I love watching that stuff. I love seeing people break games.
How do you find those things go? Because I watched like another one of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and they found this like one pixel that we could be broken through in Casino Night.
So from what I understand,
or Carnival Night.
First off, it's that there's a community of people working on it. So like, if you're a person who plays Sonic 3 and Knuckles every night, there's probably 15 other people who do that too. So you're sort of all looking for stuff together. And then also, a lot of the time, you are actually getting tools that allow you to dig into the code of the game and, like, finding weird stuff that way.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but this is the only instance in, I think, all of Star Fox when one of your teammates actually helps you for once.
Yeah, and it's pretty damn awesome, and I wish I did it more often. Falco just flying right into a freaking space base, like, yo, man, I'm gonna pick you up. Now let's take care of these bad guys.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Let's do that more.
You have to wonder how, like, Spox is holding onto this
is cool.
This is pretty cool. Yeah. This is the first. Actually, we get this instance, I think, 2 more times in this game, and I really do like it. It's super simple though. Like you're really just you only have one item. There's no power ups, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think that would have been nice.
Actually, Dan, you'd probably like this because, like you were talking about earlier, it's all on rails.
Yeah, I kind of wish they made, like, I think it's kind of weird that he's just standing on the wing. Which is probably just because they didn't want to make a model for him like sitting in a gunner kind of thing and do all the animation for it. This way they can just use the animation they already have for like the Fox walking stuff. I think it like looks a little weird. I feel like there should be some sort of side gunner position.
It doesn't look a little awkward, and man, Fox has some serious center balance right there.
Yeah, no
though,
joke.
though you have to wonder why they don't just fly right the hell out of there.
Well,
I think they need to take care of the. I think the bad guys are setting up those radars that are like interfering with comms and science, technical, whatever. Jordan.
Yeah, they've got to. They've got to take care of business.
Yeah. Yeah, but these parts of the game are pretty entertaining. It's just a nice break from, especially from the ground level stuff. Because again, if you don't know exactly where to go in those levels, then you're gonna be running around them for a while.
Yeah, I am a little insulted by the fact that we're almost halfway through this game and have had like one earnest R-Wing level.
Yeah, that is kind of insulting.
We're gonna have, I believe the next one is, and then the final level is, but everything in between is like a mixture of all the other stuff.
Wait, is the next one Pigma?
The next one I believe is Pigma. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Of. Yeah,
This
which
is like
is my favorite level.
Yeah.
This is like when you play Sonic Adventure and there's like 3 Sonic levels. It's like, ugh, God, come on.
Sonic Adventure, like I am a huge
Not like Sonic
fan.
Adventure. Sonic Adventure, actually, the Sonic part is like the biggest part.
Yeah, which is nice. But like Sonic Adventure is like the one Sonic game I can never go back to.
I like Sonic Adventure.
Well, I like Sonic Adventure for the Sonic parts, but everything other part, like, oh god, like
Not Tails is all right.
Tails
Amy's
is
okay.
alright. But oh my god, Big the Cat.
We
like,
don't speak of that.
Big the Cat is like stupid, but also only 4 levels long. It's not really.
I know,
big.
but at the same time, like back when I was a kid, I actually didn't understand how exactly Big's level was supposed to work because there wasn't really much of an explanation for them or how the fishing thing worked. So I was spent like a year just not understanding how exactly to get to Supersonic because I'm just like I don't get it.
Oh god, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, because Big's levels are. That's the thing. Like even if you know the ins and outs of fishing in a Sonic game, but like it can still be really obnoxious trying to catch Froggy.
Listen, I'm not going to say that Big the Cat is a great design choice, but I appreciate that Sega were moving their games into some like really weird directions.
True, they did do some really experimental stuff. Like, the Gamma levels were pretty experimental
right.
and fun. And
They were okay at the time. Maybe
yeah.
not so much anymore, but at the time, pretty cool.
Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
they were pretty cool. You must not like Falco a lot because you're shooting him.
There's nothing else to shoot at. Look, I'm not just gonna stand there and do nothing. I want to hear the lines. So the lines of dialogue. They took time and effort to record for this game, man.
That is a speedrun move, also, of like
No
never
kidding.
idling.
Yeah, I just don't think Adventure has aged well, in my opinion. Like, I can go back to Adventure 2 any day.
Yeah, I love
think
Sonic Adventure
2 is the weaker game of those, but we have had this discussion before, I think.
I think we have, yeah.
that's right.
We'll get to those games eventually.
We had a whole Sonic the Hedgehog playthrough to talk about these things.
We did. And now we're in Star Fox. So what is your guys' experience with Star Fox 64? I don't think I asked that.
Well, I used to always play it over at my cousin's, because basically all my N64 experience came from when I went over to my cousin's a lot when I was little, and there was a few times when when Blockbuster was still a thing, because I used to live right across from one, and I was able to rent a N64 console because you could do that sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And I think every single, I only did it 3 or 4 times, but I think every single time one of the games I rented with it was Star Fox 64, and I loved the game. And then as soon as it came out on Virtual Console on the Wii, I bought it when they announced Star Fox 64 3D. It was a day one purchase for me, so I mean that is sort of my history with Star Fox 64. I love the game.
Yeah, the 3D version was it was a great port.
Yeah, if only it had online play though.
That would be interesting. That'd be a pretty cool feature.
So I used to emulate games a whole lot, and now I don't. I don't think you should. I think people should buy the games that they want to play, especially now because there's a lot of places to get those things. It's not like you're not as limited by hardware as you used to be, and you should pay for the games you get. But I used to emulate games a whole lot, so I had played the original Star Fox on a Super Nintendo emulator, then never really beat it. Played a little bit of it, thought it was pretty cool. Star Fox 64, I had a similar situation as Jordan, where I had a lot of friends who had N64s, so I used to go to their house, we'd play a little bit. Never really dug too deep into it. Eventually like into the N64 phase of me emulating games, and played through it like one time, didn't get the perfect ending or anything, just kind of wanted to see what was up. Mm-hmm. And that's actually kind of it. That's kind of my whole experience with those things. I was at my friends' houses a couple times watching them play like Star Fox Adventures, which looked kind of okay, but only kind of. And
it's a good game. It's pretty solid. But yes, I didn't touch Star Fox until around I think high school actually, because I was a Sony kid growing up with the PlayStation. So
same.
Yeah.
It's funny that I think Nintendo's probably my favorite, of the big three, and I did not grow up with Nintendo at all, besides my Game Boy.
No, I mean a lot of my past couple years of video game playing, and not this exclusively, but a lot of it has been going back and sort of filling in the gaps of Nintendo, because I never had an N64, I never had a GameCube, I never had a Wii. So, and I had like a Game Boy Color. I had pretty much every Game Boy. So I played a lot of those games, especially Game Boy Advance was sort of my jam for a long time. But I've had the opportunity now to go back and play some of the N64 games or play some of the GameCube ones and those things that I missed. So I'm in the same boat. I never really grew up with these games. I don't really have a lot of nostalgia for them, which is part of why I think I don't like Zelda games. Which is that like I just have sort of no connection to them, and when I play them, I'm like I can see these things, I can see why they're good, but just can't really get into them so much.
I think you'd like Wind Waker. I didn't do Ocarina of Time till high school either, and I just couldn't really get into it as much as like other people did. But you know, like Wind Waker, I played on the GameCube, and it was it's just a well-polished
I love
game.
that game. I played on the GameCube too. Like I love that game. That game has aged amazingly.
So next time on Star Fox Assault, we will find out what happens to Pigma.
Oh my god!
It's a pretty kind of dark thing when you think about it.